Samantha Colosimo-Testa, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are we doing today?
Good. Last night, a vote, a surprise. I guess I didn't know this was coming last night. Am I just...
No, you're right.
Okay, we didn't know it was coming. So
it was kind of like how we didn't know the vote was coming originally.
That's a very good point. and then J-Con to reverse his vote. I totally didn't see that coming.
Listen, that's all I got to say is not all the good guys lost yesterday. It was a bittersweet victory. Number one for obviously the people, for the simple fact that I think overwhelmingly, once that vote took place, that it wasn't favorable and on behalf of many people. And I think, Councilman J-Con realized that, and you don't get a second opportunity in life sometimes. And I think he took advantage of that opportunity. And if it wasn't for him, obviously I wouldn't be here on the phone singing his praises for making the right decision.
Okay, so tell me what the decision means, though. So 5-4 to move the term limits back to 8 years, reversing an earlier vote in the fall. And
right. So the council, based on our charter, we have the right to reconsider a question at any point in time, as long as it's in that council term. If you look at the legislation that they passed back in, I don't even remember when it was, November or end of.
I think it was, I don't know when it was, October.
Yeah, either way, whenever they passed the term limit extension, the legislation that they passed stated that it didn't become in effect until January 1st, 2018. So technically, although they passed the law, they certified it with the state, they didn't make it effective until January 1st. So we technically, just reconsidered and voted down a law that didn't become a law yet.
Okay. All right.
And that's basically what we did.
Now, the American veto this, though, right?
No. The mayor never veto legislation that we vote down.
Oh, wow.
The only way he has the authority to veto legislation is if we actually pass it.
So
yeah, I'm telling you, it's over.
It's over.
The only way that obviously, the Common Council would have to do something is obviously if the mayor takes it to court. But just, I mean, what confuses me is why would you want to, sue the Common Council when, you basically stated that? Why would you want to, you're not running for the mayor's position, you're considering an assembly seat. It didn't make sense.
Well, I don't know that
I hope he wouldn't sue the Common Council because, like I said, overwhelmingly, the people didn't support, voting on term limits. They supported it, bringing it to the ballot. And unfortunately, last night we were able to overturn that decision.
Wow, that's big news coming out of this that we did not.
Oh, it's like I woke up this morning like Christmas morning.
Yeah, we did not know this.
It was a great night last night, and like I said, it was probably one of the worst decisions that I've seen made by the council in the history of, being on there for 6 years, and to be able to overturn that decision was great.
Now, will you, based on the members that have been elected, J-Con will be off, and there'll be some new members coming in. Do you feel you'll still have that support against these term limits, or against the extension of the term limits? Somebody would have to introduce
it. So the new Common Council would again have to introduce, legislation extending their own term limits again. I mean, and to me, I can't see a new member doing that, considering the backlash and negative opinion from people of voting on that. I mean, it just wouldn't make sense as a new person. I mean, there's a lot more legislatively that we have to deal with, especially getting into the budget season or whatnot. And to be worried about an extension for term limits for one person just doesn't make sense to me. And I would do whatever I can to encourage them not to do something that ridiculous. So.
Wow, so this was a bit of a coup last night.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't mean to sound arrogant or anything like that, but it really was, and I can't, begin to explain how bothersome that vote has been for the past couple of months, and to be able to make it right was definitely a win in our books. There's definitely no doubt about that.
If I were to take one word to describe you on our way out of this interview, it would be, wow, Samantha was giddy this morning. So there you go. That's my description.
I'm usually not like that, right?
No, I don't. This is so unbecoming of you. I mean, yeah. All right.
And no, honestly, because like I said, it was definitely a win for the people yesterday, and that's all that matters. So.
All right, Samantha Colosimo-Testa, happy holidays. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Right. Merry Christmas, Sam.
Bye.
That's that is interesting. So there will be no veto of that,
and no third term for Palmieri and Morehouse.
That's big.
Wow,
that is big news.